Have you ever felt sort of caught, like you're in this loop of emotions, maybe reacting in ways you don't really want to?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of being stuck.
Yeah, exactly. You try changing things on the outside, maybe your job or relationships, but those old emotional patterns, they just keep coming back.
It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it?
Yep.
It makes you wonder if the real key isn't out there, but well, deeper inside. Like maybe it's about shifting those actual emotional responses.
That's a really big question, and it's exactly what we're diving into today.
Right. Our goal here is to give you a really solid, kind of shortcut understanding of a powerful approach to exactly that, managing those inner reactions.
We're digging into Jude Bijou's book, Attitude Reconstruction, a blueprint for building a better life. And honestly, it feels like more than just a book.
It really does. It's framed as this step-by-step handbook.
Yeah, and it lays out this whole theory that our emotions are like the single door to unlocking happiness, getting relationships right, expressing ourselves, finding that real inner peace. It's kind of a fundamental shift in perspective.
And what's great is that it's not just theory. Bijou offers a practical map. The core idea is super clear. Emotions are the key. Everything starts there.
So how does she break that down? Emotions can feel so vast.
Well, she simplifies it. She focuses on 6 universal emotions.
Mm.
There's sadness, anger, and fear, the ones we often try to push down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then their counterparts, joy, love, and peace. She describes these as being part of our spiritual nature almost,
Interesting. And she calls them universal,
meaning they cut across all cultures, all of human history. Even, cave people felt these same core emotions. They're not just modern ideas.
wow. Okay, so they're hardwired. And the book talks about how we actually feel them physically.
Yes, exactly. It details how each one manifests distinctly in the body. These are reliable clues, she says, to what you're genuinely feeling.
Okay, like give me an example. Sadness.
Sadness, she describes it as feeling cold, slow, like a heavy heart, maybe a constricted chest,
Yeah.
that lethargic feeling, energy weighing you down.
Yeah, I can picture that. What about, say, joy?
Total opposite. Joy is exuberant, bouncy, sparkling, carefree. The energy moves upward, that feeling of elation.
In sense. And anger. That one feels pretty distinct.
Oh, yeah. Anger feels hot, tight, like you're ready to strike out, maybe explode. The energy pushes outward, often pushing people away.
Okay. And love.
Love feels open, warm.
Yeah.
The energy pulls inward, drawing others closer.
And fear. That one can feel complicated.
It can. It can be cold, shivering, constricted,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes jumpy, wired, even frozen. The energy is kind of erratic.
And peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Tranquil, relaxed, but alert.
Hmm.
Calm, still, collected.
And you don't just feel these inside, right? You see them.
Absolutely. They
Yeah.
show up in your face, your posture, how you move, your tone of voice,
Mhm.
your whole demeanor, really. Often
Yeah.
the first thing you notice.
Okay, so we have these core emotions. We feel them physically. But then the book gets into the problem, doesn't it? Which isn't the emotions themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what happens when we suppress them, when we deny the sadness, anger, and fear. Bijou uses this image of a thick wad of gunk, or stuck emotional energy that basically clogs up our vital life force.
Yeah.
It's like trying to drive with the handbrake on.
And the result is,
Right.
what, feeling numb.
Numb, yeah. Or living life on autopilot, just going through the motions.
That sounds draining.
It is. And she argues it leads to real consequences. Major burnout, for one. Or suddenly flying off the handle because it's all built up.
Right. Destructive action.
Yeah. And even environments becoming, as she puts it, deadly wastelands from unspoken truths. Think about families or workplaces where nothing difficult is ever said.
The book has that example, right? The guy working crazy hours.
Yeah, the 70-hour work week guy,
Yeah.
choking down anger all day, lashing out at his family, ignoring his health.
Leading to stress illnesses, living an inauthentic life. It's a pretty grim picture.
It really is. And she connects this individual suppression to bigger societal problems, too. Suicide, domestic violence, addictions. Seeing it all as this volcano of pent-up emotions.
Wow. But there's a solution offered, right? It's not all doom and gloom.
Definitely not. The solution is actually pretty simple, conceptually at least. She calls it emotional hygiene.
Emotional hygiene, like physical hygiene.
Exactly like that. Just like we bathe, brush our teeth, try to eat veggies. Releasing emotions constructively needs to become a daily routine, a basic part of self-care.
So it's not about weakness, it's about wellness, being healthy emotionally.
Precisely, which leads to a key question. If these emotions are universal, why do different people seem to lean towards certain ones?
Right. Why is one person generally more anxious, another more prone to anger?
Bijou introduces this idea of an emotional constitution. Like we come into the world with a predisposition, a leaning towards sadness, anger, or fear.
So, like, we have different emotional starting points.
Kind of. She uses this metaphor of three buckets: sadness, anger, fear. For some people, one bucket might be naturally fuller, maybe even overflowing from early experiences.
And that overflowing bucket affects how we see everything.
Yeah, it shapes how we interpret the world, why we think people behave the way they do. It sets up these default ways of reacting.
Which leads to what she calls core attitudes, our default settings.
Exactly. These unexpressed emotions drive predictable, negative core attitudes. They focus our perception in specific ways, on ourselves, on others, or on time.
Okay, break that down. What does a sadness-leaning attitude look like? The focus is on.
The self. If sadness is the dominant unexpressed emotion, the focus turns inward, but negatively. Shaky self-worth, always looking for approval. That feeling of, they have to approve of me.
Lots of negative self-talk. I'm a loser. I shouldn't have done that.
Exactly. It can lead to becoming, as she says, a passive nobody. Giving up on things like stopping exercise, binging comfort food, not following through on goals.
Okay, what about anger? Where's the focus there?
On other people and situations, it's all external blame. It's the mechanic's fault. Or they shouldn't have said that.
A refusal to accept reality as it is?
Yes. Lots of judgment. It's not okay. It's not fair. And often a sense of entitlement, like, why isn't the world catering to me?
I think we all know people like that. Or maybe see it in ourselves sometimes. And fear. The focus is on.
Time. The person becomes a time traveler, constantly jumping between worrying about the past or stressing about the future.
Living anywhere but the present moment.
Right. They tend to overgeneralize using words like always, never, everybody. And she mentions lumping, dragging other unrelated issues into the current situation.
Making things bigger and scarier than they are?
Yeah, and it fuels this constant fight for control, or at least the illusion of control, like having a perfectly spotless desk or obsessively researching tiny risks.
Wow, seeing those patterns laid out is really insightful. It definitely hits home.
It does, doesn't it? And this understanding leads directly to the core tool of the book, the Attitude Reconstruction Blueprint.
Okay, the blueprint. This is the practical guide.
Yes, she calls it the capstone. It's designed to help you immediately address challenges. It literally has two sides. A left side for the destructive patterns we just talked about.
The sadness, anger, fear-driven stuff.
Right. And a right side for the constructive alternatives.
Right.
Joy, love, peace. The idea is simple. Identify what you're feeling, thinking, or doing on the left.
Find the pattern.
And then look directly across to the right side to find the fix, the constructive way to think or behave.
Can you give an example from the book?
Sure. Let's say you're feeling overwhelmed. That's rooted in fear, right? And it often connects to that core attitude of overgeneralizing.
Okay. So you find overwhelmed or overgeneralize on the left side.
And the blueprint points you to the right side, to the opposing tendency, stay specific, which is linked to peace.
So that leads to thoughts like...
One thing at a time. Simple, concrete, manageable. It's about consciously shifting that internal dialogue from overwhelm to focus.
That sounds incredibly useful, like a practical map for your mind.
It really is.
Yeah.
And building on that, the book introduces 5 specific remarkable instruments or tools we can use to actively produce more joy, love, and peace.
5 tools. Okay, what are they?
They are emotions, thoughts, intuition, speech, and action. The idea is we all have these tools, but we often misuse them because of those underlying stuck emotions. We can learn to use them constructively.
All right, let's break those down. Tool number 1, emotions. This sounds like what we were talking about before with emotional hygiene.
Exactly. She calls it constructive emoting, and she says it's the most direct route back to joy, love, and peace. It's about expressing emotions physically in specific healthy ways.
So not just thinking about them, but actually doing something with the physical energy.
Precisely. For sadness, the technique is clean crying.
Clean crying, what does that mean?
It means allowing tears to flow without the negative self-talk. No, I'm such a loser. Thoughts swirling around. Just the physical release. Maybe you just say to yourself, I just feel sad right now. It's okay to feel sad.
This is separating the physical sensation from the mental story.
Yes. The book mentions Kathy, who'd put on a sad movie just to let herself cry and release built-up sadness. She found it rejuvenating, brought clarity.
Interesting. Okay, what about anger? How do you constructively emote anger?
The tool is pounding. And it's quite literal. Pushing, yelling, pounding, stomping, kicking something inanimate like old phone books, pillows, a mattress.
Hard and fast?
Hard, fast, and with abandon, she says. But here's the crucial part. using wordless sounds or simple neutral words,
Right.
like shouting broccoli or Hawaii, whatever works. The key is no swearing, no name-calling, no blaming others, just releasing the raw energy.
Why not just say, go for a run?
The book argues that while exercise helps dissipate some energy, this direct physical pounding is much more effective for releasing stored anger. It mentions a client whose high blood pressure went down after regularly pounding a punching bag. Again, the rule is owning it. I feel angry, not you made me angry.
Got it. That distinction is huge. Okay. Sadness is crying, anger is pounding. What about fear?
For fear, the tool is shivering.
Shivering, like when you're cold.
Sort of, but it's intentional. Physically shaking, wiggling, jumping to release that agitated, wired fear energy. The book calls it a universal practice, like shaking medicine in some cultures.
Does it work quickly?
Apparently so. There's Sam's story in the book. He shivered off intense anxiety in just a few minutes. The benefit is it gets you out of that fight or flight survival mode thinking so you can actually address the situation calmly.
So crying, pounding, shivering, the key across all of them seems to be.
Own the emotion. Take personal responsibility. Make sounds that match the intensity. And if you use words, just name the feeling or state the objective facts of what happened. Keep it clean and focused on the physical release.
Okay, that's tool 1, constructive emoting. What's tool 2?
Tool 2 is thoughts. This is about rewiring with truths. It directly tackles that negative mental chatter, that old tape recording born from unexpressed emotion.
Rewiring. How?
The technique is called powering. It involves vigorously repeating simple statements that are unequivocally true, she calls them truths, that directly contradict your negative thoughts.
So not just positive affirmations, but actual truths.
Exactly. It engages both heart and head. Take the example of being stuck in traffic or a long line. Instead of fuming, they should have more clerks, which is an anger-based judgment.
You to repeat.
A truth like, people and things are the way they are, not the way I want them to be. It's a statement of acceptance, which shifts you towards peace.
Because it's undeniably true, whether you like it or not.
Right. And these truths work because they're valid regardless of how you feel in the moment. They help you move beyond rigid black and white thinking. Like, instead of forcing I'm a winner against I'm a loser, you use a broader truth, like making mistakes is human.
That feels more grounded somehow. Does she give examples of truths for different shifts?
Yes. For moving from sadness to joy, a truth might be, my viewpoints and needs are as important as yours. For anger to love, people and things are the way they are, and for fear to peace. Everything is all right, or one thing at a time, or I'll do what I can and the rest is out of my hands.
Those sound really calming, actually.
They can be. She also suggests creating a truth bundle, stringing 2 to 4 truths together to target a specific negative pattern. Like Ellen in the book, facing a challenge powered on. I've been waiting for this. I can do this. I'm good at what I do.
And how do you practice this powering?
Repeat the truths aloud, if possible. Vary your tone, your tempo. Make it a daily routine, maybe 10 minutes total. In short bursts, saying them at least 11 times a day. Rita's story is powerful here, using truths like, I love myself, I did the best I could, helped her break free from needing everyone's approval.
Okay, so emotions, thoughts. What's tool 3?
Tool 3 is intuition, our inner guidance system.
Ah, the gut feeling.
Kind of, but she defines it more specifically. It's a wordless knowing from the heart, different from the mind's logic or the ego's desires. It taps into something deeper, maybe a universal energy.
And it feels different.
Yes. It's authentic, kind, promotes harmony, unity. It's described as a dependable compass.
How do you access it? Especially when your head is noisy.
The advice is simple. Pause. Get quiet. Ask yourself, what's true for me about this? What does my heart tell me I need to do?
And the benefits.
Clarifying boundaries, setting goals that feel right, making decisions, finding peace, love, joy. Importantly, she stresses that true intuition isn't self-serving. It never asks, what's in it for me, or suggests harming anyone.
So it's not just impulse.
Definitely not. The book gives Stan's example, the actor bartender needing to check in with his intuition about his career path. Or Thomas, using it to navigate a relationship decision by asking his older, wiser me.
Okay, makes sense. Tool 4.
Tool 4 is speech, how we communicate.
This is a big one. Communication breakdowns are so common.
They are. And the book argues that unexpressed emotions often turn our words into weapons, even unintentionally. So she offers 4 rules for communication.
4 rules applicable when?
Always. In self-talk, with partners, kids, coworkers, everyone. Rule 1, use I statements.
Speak only about yourself, your feelings, wants, needs, beliefs.
Exactly. It honors yourself. The violation is youing, blaming, or analyzing others. Like, you always do that. The only exception is genuine praise.
Okay, rule 2.
Specifics. Stay concrete, stick to one topic. Avoid always, never overgeneralizing. And avoid dragging unrelated past issues into the present conversation.
Keeps things clear, less overwhelming.
Right. It fosters peace. Instead of I messed everything up, say, I'm sorry I was late. I need to be more mindful of time.
Concrete and actionable. Rule 3.
Kindness. Accentuate the positive. Be positive yourself. Give genuine praise. She even suggests a 20.2 ratio of praise to correction.
Wow, 20 to 2. That's a lot of praise.
It highlights the importance of positive reinforcement and express real appreciation. I appreciate your help. Thank you. I feel fortunate.
It builds connection. And rule 4.
Listen. Truly try to understand the other person's perspective. Violating this sends the message, I count, but you don't. It shuts down connection.
So I see specifics, kindness, listen. How do you put these into practice, especially in a tricky conversation?
She offers a specific framework.
Yeah.
The I-5 communication model. 5 steps for speaking your truth effectively and non-threateningly.
Okay, what are the steps?
1. When this happened, state the specific situation. Example. When you asked me to type those letters at 5.15.
Step 2.
2. I feel felt. Name your emotions: sadness, anger, fear. Avoid disguised you statements like, I felt ignored.
Got it. Step 3.
3. Because I. Give information about yourself, your needs, thoughts, values, because I had already told you about my 3 o'clock appointment.
Step 4.
4. And I. State your position, request, boundary, solution. And I'll be glad to type them first thing tomorrow morning.
And step 5.
5. I appreciate. And
Yeah.
with kindness, thanks for listening, or I'm glad we could talk about this.
That sounds like a really clear, respectful way to handle things. Bob's email to Roger in the book uses this, right?
Yes, and it shifted the dynamic from conflict to collaboration. It works.
What if the other person is violating the rules? Yelling, blaming, overgeneralizing.
Then you become the matador.
The matador. Like in bullfighting.
Kind of. You don't charge back, engage, defend, retaliate. You sidestep the negativity. Gently but firmly repeat your message, your I statement, maybe up to 8 times if needed, like a calm, broken record. And if you lip up, just own it and get back on track.
Okay, that takes practice, I bet. Tool 5.
Cool 5 is action, taking constructive steps.
Moving forward.
Yes. She says it's often the fastest way to resolve those stuck situations. And the constructive action is often the opposite of what your old fear-based self would have done.
So leaning into the discomfort.
Exactly. The key is small, doable steps, not trying to change everything overnight.
Which connects to that idea of
Gulp and leap. Doing it even when you're scared. Recognizing that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite the fear.
gulp and leap. I like that.
So those are the 5 tools: emotions, thoughts, intuition, speech, action. The book then shows how to apply them as specific challenging areas.
Like relationship.
Right. Resolving differences in relationships. Breakdowns often happen because we can't reconcile different needs or viewpoints. She offers the 2-step process.
Okay, 2-step for relationships. Step 1.
Exchange views. Talk and listen alternately about one specific issue until everyone feels truly heard and understood. Using trading time, uninterrupted turns to speak can help here.
Really listening. Using rule 4. Step 2.
Find a workable solution. Brainstorm together. Integrate all perspectives, not your way or my way, but finding a way in the middle that feels acceptable to everyone.
Like Armando and Angela in the book, figuring out the conflict about having kids.
Exactly. They used the 2-step, agreed on therapy, agreed to spend time with family who had kids. They found a path forward together.
What about those times you just feel completely stuck, paralyzed?
Yeah, those stuck situations, often caused by unexpressed emotions from the past. The book has an action worksheet for stuck situations.
A worksheet. Okay, what's the process?
First, identify the specific situation or past event keeping you stuck. Nail it down.
Get specific. Then,
Define your goal. What outcome would bring more joy, love, peace? And select truths to power. Support that goal. Like, I can do this, just take the next step.
okay, goal and truths. Next.
Translate the goal into small, doable action steps. Brainstorm possibilities. Check them with your intuition. Tool 3, break it down.
Making it manageable.
Yes. Then, anticipate scenarios. Mentally walk through taking those steps. What might happen? How will you respond? Using the tools. Practice being the matador if needed.
Prepare mentally. And the final step.
Gulp and leap. Emote as you go. Take the action, even with fear. Use shivering, tool 1, or powering on truths, tool 2, as you go. And this is important. Praise yourself for every small victory. Martha's story about talking to her sister-in-law illustrates this whole process.
That seems like a solid plan for breaking through paralysis. Does it apply to habits too? Addictions?
Yes, absolutely. Remodeling old habits and addictions. She defines these as anything behaviors or substances used to mask emotions and get temporary pleasure. Making cuticles, sarcasm, smoking, overexercising, sugar.
Things we do instead of feeling.
Right. There's an action worksheet for changing old habits too. Similar structure.
Okay, walk me through it quickly.
Identify the habit precisely. Define the goal. More joy, love, peace. Select truths to support it.
Then break it down into steps.
Yes, but with a focus on triggers. Pinpoint exactly what situations, times, feelings, or thoughts trigger the habit.
Awareness is key.
Crucial. Then, decide on constructive substitutes. What will you do instead? This is where the 5 tools come in again. Maybe you'll emote, cry, pound, shiver, power on truths. Just for today, I'm breaking this now. Use an I statement or take a different constructive action.
So you replace the old habit with a tool.
Exactly. And set realistic timeframes. Small, doable goals like cutting back gradually.
And then anticipate scenarios. Visualize resisting temptation.
Yes, mentally rehearse succeeding. And finally, gulp and leap, emote as you go. Take that first step of not doing the old habit and choosing the new tool instead. That first time is huge.
What about slipping up? Losing momentum? She mentioned the dwindle effect.
Yeah, it happens. Initial motivation fades. The key is not to give up, but to use the tools again. Emote whatever feeling led to the slip. Disappointment, frustration. Rewire with truths. Figure out the specific trigger and learn from it. Don't let a lapse derail the whole process.
That's encouraging. It's a journey, not a perfect switch.
Definitely. Which is why the final section of the book emphasizes building your support system.
Right. You don't have to do this alone.
Not at all. Changing deep patterns is hard work. Support makes it feel less isolating.
What kinds of support does she suggest?
Support from another person. A personal cheerleader who listens non-judgmentally, praises progress, offers gentle feedback, someone you can check in with.
A trusted friend or partner?
Could be. Also, support from a group. Joining or even forming a small group with shared goals creates a safe space for growth and accountability.
What else?
For some, support from a higher power helps. Finding strength or guidance beyond oneself in tough moments. Even a simple help, please give me strength.
And lastly?
Support from yourself. Bijou calls this the best source, because you're always available. Regular self-check-ins, maybe journaling constructively, focusing on insights, not blame. Daily reflections to track progress and acknowledge even small wins.
Being your own cheerleader, too.
Exactly. It's about cultivating that inner support.
Wow. This deep dive has really laid out a comprehensive, well, a blueprint, like the title says.
Yeah.
A set of practical tools to actively shift our emotional landscape.
It really feels empowering, doesn't it? The idea that we already have what we need, these emotions, thoughts, intuition, speech, actions. We just need to learn to use them constructively.
To move away from being run by sadness, anger, and fear, and towards consciously choosing joy, love, and peace.
Yeah, it reframes the whole idea of happiness. It's not about avoiding the tough stuff, but about having the tools to navigate it constructively. It really is an inside job, isn't it, a daily practice?
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, as we wrap up, here's something to think about. What's one small, really actionable step you could take today based on this?
It doesn't have to be huge.
No, not at all. Maybe it's just noticing one emotion you usually push down and allowing yourself to feel it physically for just 60 seconds, using one of the emoting techniques, crying, pounding a pillow, shivering.
Or maybe choosing one truth that resonated, like one thing at a time, or people and things are the way they are, and consciously repeating it a few times when you feel stressed or judgmental.
Just try one small thing and notice what happens. Observe that shift, however subtle that can occur when you engage differently with your inner world.
What if that stuck feeling isn't about your circumstances, but really about that unexpressed emotional energy just waiting for a healthy outlet? What could change if you started giving it one?
Something powerful to consider. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope exploring attitude reconstruction has given you some valuable insights and maybe the courage to start using these tools in your own life.
Thanks for listening. Remember, the power to change your experience is truly within you.